Today is September, and it's the 14th, 2014, and I am just starting the celebration of Oktoberfest. Woohoo! Yeah, so me and Kevin have been having fun in bed. A lot of fun. Anyways, we did it a lot, and I orgasmed 6 times yesterday in one experience. It was really ballin'. And we're going to go visit Kevin's family in a bit to go to a Thai restaurant. It's just been exciting overall to kind of get more settled. We went to a really good restaurant last night called it's an Indian restaurant. And what's the name?
Bombay.
Oh yeah, the Bombay House is really good. And it's like my favorite restaurant. It's one of my favorites. And I'm starving right now. I'm starving myself for pho. Because we're going to this Vietnamese or Thai restaurant with the Thai has the sour soups and the Vietnamese eat weird like octopi and I don't know, they eat all sorts of weird crap that apparently is good for you or it's rubbery. I don't know, like they'll find tentacles laying around and like lop them off and like throw them in a stew. And I would go to my friend Huang's house and his mom would always like cook like really weird things. And he'd be like, "Want some melon water?" I'm like, "What's melon water?" Okay. And they took like a watermelon and then instead of like eating it like a normal person, they like grind it into a puree and then like hand it to you and you're like, "Thanks for that." Well, but it's cool of them. So anyways, Thai food is usually sour and bitter. At least their soups are. And I only had one Thai restaurant dish in my life, and then I banned Thai from my eating because it's sour. Their soups are gross. They're bitter. But maybe this is a good place, and I'll find something suitable. Oh yeah, I think I've been to Thai before, and they have really spicy everything. So you have to say mild, but even their mild is spicy. Um, Anyways, Indian food is more mild in general. It's really, really good, and we we had a bomb time there. Got some stuff for my car at Walmart, and I drank some wine and then pestered Kevin with this fake raven bird, and then I pecked him on the head like this with it because he was being grumpy. He needed to drink more. Oktoberfest should have started a day earlier for him. But he didn't drink enough vodka. And it was his own fault. He doesn't have a hip flask. What else have we been doing? Yeah, so we did a photo shoot, and that went really, really, really well. Got some sick photos. I like to keep my portfolio updated. I need to do more black and whites and more professional attire as well because, like, you can model, and I hope this filter isn't distracting you at all. My hair is really spiky today. And I put both wolf earrings on the same ear because that represents me and Kevin together. So, and apparently I'm getting comments or people are remembering me. I'm not sure why. It must be the hair or something. Maybe it's because I'm unreasonably hot and young Logie. And no, I'm not that conceited. I really am not. I'm just happy that I work hard at what I do and can create some good product. Some good product for the masses. Yeah. So I've got my throwing stars on my belt and hopefully I'll get to use those tonight. Because I've been wanting to ninja train, but I need to buy like a ninja gi online, and I've been talking about it for a while, so I should see what prices they are. Because I need to get a ninja dope as well. But I was thinking a katana might be better, but because I like katanas. But a tanto is easier to hide. So I'll probably get a practice katana to start, and I really want to not wait till Christmas to get it, but it's something I really want for like forever. Kind of like going to the Festival of Colors, and so hopefully we'll get to go to that next year, and then yeah. But we're probably gonna be in California, and there's Day of the Dead, and there's a lot of really cool raves going on. So we're gonna like rave it up, and we're just gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome. Anyways, I'm excited, and that's basically what has been going on lately. We're gonna repair my car and mod it so it looks it's like a ninja vehicle. I can drop cat drops and oil slicks and all sorts of illegal stuff. Potentially. Actually, you never heard me say that. It's just an idea. Probably for a story or a novel or something. But it will be awesome if like you could make your vehicle like that, like a James Bond type car. So that's really cool. So that's kind of in the works. Mainly, I'm excited about creating a plot, which I haven't really been in that mindset lately. I mean, I've been doing my goals for the year, which are have sex. It's my number one goal, is to make love, and then sex is a close second, and then after that comes like my career, like modeling and acting and everything. But I wanted to get a partner because I didn't want to have sex with any random person, and so I'm glad I have Kevin. So that minimizes my risk because I'm high risk, apparently, according to one therapist in San Diego. He's like, you're high risk, right? I'm like, what does that even mean? It's like, you should just get a boyfriend. I was like, okay, sounds good. It's probably just like having a girlfriend. And then it's better than having a girlfriend considerably. Like, I got my balls sucked this morning after coffee, or in between coffee. Anyway, coffee rocks. So do testicles. Because they're rocks. Yeah, so all my goals are coming true, except I have to film my demo reel because I'm being a slacker, but it's okay because even though like acting is my career and modeling and all that, it's not really my number one goal. Sex is, but like making love, because that's how I interpret love. It's when people like taught me really hardcore, like over and over again. I orgasmed 4 times anally yesterday, and it was awesome. It was bomb. And Kevin has a big dick, so that's always a plus. Small dicks just don't do the same thing. I'm telling you, it's like you just can't. It's not the same. So fortunately, Kevin has a huge dick. Yeah. So pouring Hefeweizen in tall, really cool glasses, which I should show you, but they're over there. And then I would step out of the frame for like 5 seconds to show you. These are the Hefeweizen glasses. This is really cool. So you fill the beer up like this. So apparently, when you're filling up beer, and I just learned this, is you grab the beer bottle, which I can grab too. It's somewhere around here. Because it's hard to do a demonstration if you're not like...
It's in the garbage.
Actually...
Just use water.
Well, anyways, I will...
Or refund the beer or something.
I'll wash my hands later. Anyways, so, this is Hefeweizen. It's the best German beer I've ever had so far. So when you're drunk, or before you, I mean, you gotta get drunk somehow, but, I mean, this might overflow on you, and this is, like, aerates it or some shit, I don't know. But you put it in like this, and when you're pouring it, you keep it at a 45-degree angle. And I just learned this because, like, if you don't, like, the bubbles go everywhere, and then you just sort of, like, tilt it in, and then finally at the last part, you could just pour it in, but in the beginning, you just kind of, like, I don't know. It's a thing. Apparently you can do with champagne too and stuff. Alcohol is bubbly because of the fermentation process. I learned some other really cool pieces of information. Enteric coating. So apparently enteric coating on pills is different types of wax that decompose at different rates. And that's what allows like slow release of a particular medicine or vitamin into your system, usually medicine. And so we're thinking about a medicinal herb garden, so to speak, and that would be really bomb to make, because then we could actually create all sorts of awesomeness. And the magic flight is bomb, combined with old Hefeweizen, our buddy, gives us a nice, an excellent feeling. But there's this cool stuff called kratom, which is sort of like an opiate, and you combine it with, basically you take it and you combine it with, like for me, Lortab, because that was prescribed to me, and you combine it with that and vitamin C to boost both of those, and you combine that with like alcohol and possibly the magic flight, and you can get a cross or triple fade that is excellent. It's like so bomb. You just feel like, hey, I'm floating. The world's a wonderful place. There's no stress. Just chill out, guys. It's bomb. And it lasts like all night. And it was my favorite feeling I've had in a while, besides being topped, which obviously takes the cake. I mean, that's the best feeling in the world. But the second best would probably be the opiate thing. Because, like, the nice thing about if you're on opiates is, like, you can jack off and you get this, like, for me at least, like, you have your normal self, and you have your opiate self, which is like completely free of pain and sorrow and sadness and any negative emotion whatsoever. And then you got this like da 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 da. It's like, I'm on kratom, I'm on opiates, my life is so bomb. And then you're just drinking and just having a good time. And then every time you jack off, it's like your as far as your opiate release base, like every time you orgasm, it's like boom, and it launches it up here, and then it brings you back to this really awesome, like, happiness and peace level. So it's like happiness and joy, my two favorite emotions. Like laughter. Laughing's fun too. When I was being topped, I was laughing too because it was fun, and it makes me laugh when it bobs in and out. It feels good. Yeah. I need a beer. I need like 5. It's like time. It's time to get wasted. I've actually never had an Oktoberfest. This is my first Oktoberfest ever. And I'm like so excited. And like I'm getting to relive all my teenage dreams, stuff that I never got to do as a teenager because I was repressed and held back by my family because they're psycho. And they were part of a cult. And I love them, but it was a cult. So beware cults. They will take your soul and you cannot be an individual anymore. Join the sheep mentality. Oh yeah, so that's another thing I learned. I learned all about Satanists, which is kind of cool. Because I didn't know much about them. Apparently they don't worship Satan, and it's a weeding out process to see who's intelligent enough to get past the Judeo-Christian mindset of Satanism, and Satanists just worship themselves. And because I consider myself a god, and I also do rituals that are pagan, they fall in a similar category of paganism, whereas apparently Satanists don't sacrifice people anymore. I mean, they used to, but they just stopped. No, that's completely inaccurate. Apparently they never sacrificed people. That's like probably another cult you have to join to sacrifice people. You could look it up. I don't know much about sacrificing people, but you know, there's always lots to learn. So anyways, I learned all about Satanists. They don't sacrifice people or hurt animals. They are kind to those who deserve it and those who cross them, and after they ask them kindly to stop, then they destroy them. That's kind of hardcore, which is cool. And what else do they believe? They believe in not being stupid, so you have to be educate yourself so you don't sound like an idiot, because everyone is ignorant in certain areas, but it's all about assimilation. And I like a lot of their tenets because it seems like you need to be more self-aware and more focused than the average person, because you have to realize that every piece of information is something you need to take into yourself and not pass up opportunities, because that makes you a more versatile individual, and the more versatile you can be, the better it is for everyone. So versatile. Yeah, so basically that's the gist of it. I have all of their tenets, but you probably look it up. It's pretty fascinating, and some of the things they say are really wise. Um, about not having a sheep mentality, and then when you think about it, a lot of the belief system that you run your life by, the program by which you conduct yourself, was based on your upbringing to an extent. And so you have to see in your modding parts of it, but the fact is a lot of times we have these things within our belief system that are off limits areas. It's like, okay, well, I can modify this, but I can't touch that, because if I touched that, that would be not acceptable, because if I touch that, it's an off limits area. And I know I've had things in my life that are more off limits areas. And then I have to ask myself, well, why? Why is that particular area off limits to me? And I think that the reason that we have these areas that are like so off limits to us is based on our previous programming. So we have to be self-aware enough to realize that we are running by an older program, and in so doing, um, realize the different constituents of the program by which we're running our life to modify anything within that we feel is advantageous to us. So, I don't know. The more I study, the more fascinating it becomes. And I've had 3 Satanist friends, and they're all really nice. I consider myself still pagan based on the religion I made for myself, but I do like a lot of the tenets of paganism, and I feel like they're really useful, and they work in the real world a lot better. Just like ninja, in a sense, their attack strategies are effective. So people can talk about all the ethics and morality or lack of those things according to them, based on the fact that ninjas will strike from the shadows, and you just don't want to make an enemy with a ninja is basically the gist of it. Like, be nice to everyone because you don't know if they're a ninja, and if they're a ninja, they might be like, okay, well, I'm going to kill you now and put you in a washing machine.
And honor isn't too important with
And there's no honor whatsoever. I've always had a more samurai Ronin mentality, more Ronin than anything. Like, I have honor, but I'm still very like anarchist, because I'm chaotic good. So I could care less about laws as long as they don't harm me. As long as like they're not directly affecting me negatively. It's like, oh, whatever, be all lawful and whatever you people do. And it's like, oh, that's a rule, sort of, like with every law. But I'm respectful of the fact that they do have power, and they also sometimes have this team mentality. So you just have to respect those elements. But generally speaking, I feel that it's best to be good all around, whether you're lawful good or you're chaotic good. Chaotic good just means you don't care about laws. Neutral good means, like, I would say Kevin is more in the neutral category, because he's kind of like, it's almost neutral, but he's however he calls himself. But neutral good is more like, I'll be lawful when I want, but when it's useful to me. But sometimes I'll be lawful, sometimes I won't. You won't ever really know. And actually, that's a really good place to be in, because I think most people conduct themselves in that way. If you're too chaotic, then like eventually the herd will like pummel you and snatch you. So it's best to like be chill with them as well. But chaotic gives you a lot of flexibility, because you're a lot less concerned about those laws made by man, and you're more concerned with the outcome that you feel is good. So it's like, okay, well, and that can be useful as well in certain circumstances if you have to choose between the two. Then I pick good, but that's just me. And yeah, so cool. So the basic gist of it is I'm starving, and I'm running off to a Thai restaurant, and I hope the food's really good. And yeah, and I hope you have an excellent day, and I will talk to you later.